In this tutorial, I'm going to go over or assist you in beginning the tutorial that you'll be completing for classwork, which is how to create an autumn leaves, berries, and chestnut icons in Adobe Illustrator. Please note, I'm losing my voice, so if I don't talk, just please follow along with my instructions or what you see me do on the screen. I'm going to go through this step by step. On the class website, I told you guys to name this Autumn, your last name, first initial underscore Autumn. Click OK. You don't have to have two artboards. I just have it there because that was my default. Alright, so we're going to get started. And what you guys want to do is to read first. It says, open Adobe Illustrator, create a new document. Everywhere you see Control should be Command because Control is a PC shortcut, not a Mac shortcut. So you need to make sure that you click Command N for that shortcut. So to create the stalk, you need to set the fill color to R132G98B3. And the way you start that off is you'll click on the fill color here. In the color picker, you'll see RGB here. You'll change the numbers. And as you put in each category, you'll notice that the colors change. And you'll click OK. You need to turn your strokes off for this. You can turn it off by clicking on it and then clicking the little thing here, or you can go up top and select the same thing from here. That's just for those of you who aren't too sure about what to do. Alright, now it says, then take the polygon tool and click on your artboard. So you're going to go to the rectangle, select the polygon tool, click on your artboard. This should be familiar to you from when we did the ellipse tool. You're going to do on 3 sides, and it said with any radius, so you don't have to change this. You'll get a triangle that you're going to need to make very long and narrow. So here's your triangle, and you're going to use the direct selection tool. Alright, so you do your triangle, and then we are going to go to direct selection tool, and it's not allowing me to. I'm going to take this and make it very long and narrow as the instructions said. So there, it is pretty long. It's not as narrow as it could be, but we'll make it a little more narrow. And then it tells you what you need to do. Is to go to Effect, Warp, Arc Lower, and I'm taking all these instructions directly from here. Effect, Warp, Arc Lower, and then you're going to put in the new dialog window box. You're going to enter the style, Arc Lower, Horizontal. Make sure horizontal is selected. Where it says bend, you're going to put a negative minus sign in front of it for a negative 50%. Leave distortion horizontal at 0 and leave vertical at 0. Then you're going to press OK. Then go to Object, Expand Appearance. So I go OK. And then go to Object, Expand Appearance. And so now you should see where this did the arc here at the bottom. And now you have your stalk. So to keep going, you now have the stalk. You will use the same stalk with a different fill color for all the leaves. Make one more copy of this shape and keep it for later. I'll let you know when you need it. So we're just going to select it, hold Option, and drag it over to the side so that we always have it available to us if we need it. So let's go down. So further it says we'll create the leaf now. You start with the ellipse tool, and you can press the letter L to do that. Set the fill color to 215. $195, 0, and then click OK. Keeping the ellipse selected, so you want to try your ellipse. Then keeping it selected, which means you don't come off of it, you want to go to the convert anchor point. So to do so, you would do, the easiest way to do it is to go here and go to convert anchor point under the pencil, or you can do Shift C. And then you click on the bottom anchor point here, and it now becomes pointed to make it sharp. Then you want to select the direct selection tool and slide the left and right anchor points up. So to do that, you're going to do this. Slide this one up and slide this one up. Now, you can actually slide it up a little bit more to make it look a little bit more like what the one here has. Then you're going to go here, and it says using the direct selection tool again while holding the Alt, which should be Option key. Move the handles of the top anchor point of the ellipse down to make it sharp. Look at the image below to see what it should look like. Now, the reason it's telling you to use Alt or Option is because if you move these handles, they move like seesaws. When one side goes up, the other side goes down. So you want to hold Option first, and you'll get a little plus sign, and then it'll allow you to adjust the points there so that you get exactly what you need. Alright, so there's what your leaf should then look like. And mine can actually go out a little bit more. Alright, so all of you should have your leaf. You can pull these handles down just a little bit to make it more poignant. Alright, so then you scroll up. So then it reminds you, use the stalk that you created in the first set that we said we would keep for later. You are going to hold the Option key, drag the stalk across to use it for the chestnut leaf. So hold Option, drag that stalk across, and place it in your leaf. Alright. Now, if yours goes behind, you need to bring it to the front so that it's on top. Or, like this said, you could just do Command F and that would paste it on top. So next it's telling you, holding the Option key, drag it across for use. Be sure to leave a copy of the stalk to use on the other leaves. I'm sorry. So there you go. You want to bring it to front. I'm sorry, I had to redo that because I didn't quite do what I was supposed to. And then once you bring it to front, or Command F to paste in front, you will copy and paste the stalk a few different times to make several of them like you see here. So I'm going to move this one over, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and then what I want to do is to paste it a few times. So I should have a multiple copies right here, as you can see. And then what you want to do, because we're going to create the veins of the leaf using that, so we're going to do exactly what they have here. We're going to make them smaller. Like so. And you're also going to make them a little skinnier because you don't need them to be that thick. And then you're going to rotate it. And it should even go smaller than this, to be quite honest. I'll hold shift to shrink that. And I'm going to take this over and place it here. If it still looks too big, I can easily remedy that by shrinking it down a little bit more. And then move it to where I need it. And then you should see your little stalk. And of course, we can do the easy way of things where we just reflect it afterwards so that it's on the other side exactly where we need it to be. And this doesn't tell you that, but I'm going to make your life easier. We're going to use a reflect tool because we learned how to do that already. So what you want to do is you have that one there. So let's copy the one that's there. I'm going to move it down a little. I want to make it just a little bit bigger. By holding shift, grab the corner, make it a little larger. Because you know, none of these are supposed to be exactly the same size. So this one we want to shrink down just a little bit because it shouldn't be so long. And then move this one over a little, shrink it down as well. And then we want to rotate it out a little bit more so that it actually looks like the veins are going out. I'm going to move it up just a little, and then we'll copy it again and drag it down. And this one should, I'm sorry. So I'm doing some of the mistakes that you guys do. I forgot to hold Option the whole way through. So I hold Option, Shift to copy it and keep it in place. And then I want to extend it a little bit. And you want them to kind of look exactly like this looks. This one is a little too long, sorry. So that vein is going to be a little bit longer. And then we're going to change this one to make it a little bit shorter. And yet this one should go a little shorter as well. And so you should have your veins going up in size just a little. And then we can honestly take this one and copy it again and put it below because we don't need it to be super big. It's going to start going smaller than the others again. I'm going to push this in so that it's right there on the leaf and on the stalk. And this one can be a teeny weeny bit longer. And then we'll copy it, this one last time down at the bottom. And it should be a little shorter than that one, the last one we created. And you'll see it there. And what we want to do also is move it down some because we don't want them to be all gathered up at the same place. We want them to have some decent spacing between them. Alright, so you should pretty much look like this at this point. Now, if you have your 5 stems or 5 veins, we're going to select all 5 by holding shift and select each of these veins only. And then we're going to do this again. We're doing it the easy way because we don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And we'll do reflect vertical. We'll do copy. And then we're going to take the ones that we just copied. I want to move them over so that they exactly reflect what we need them to on the other side. And there you have your first leaf. So then we want to scroll down and do what it says. Copy and paste. Copy, paste the leaf to create another one. Create the stalk smaller. Select the whole new leaf. Rotate it to the left while holding the shift key. You will see that the leaf is rotated 45 degrees. So what it's asking us to do is to select this, copy it with Command C and paste it Command V. And you see it will paste to the side. And when it pastes to the side, what you want to do is to One, you want to make this stalk a lot smaller, like it says. Make the stalk smaller. You want to make the stalk smaller. So there's your stalk, your much smaller stalk. I'm going to make it a little skinnier as well because that's a little fat. And make sure it stays in the center so that, I'm sorry, it's the centerpiece there. You can also use the direct selection tool, but I don't want this to become too complicated for you guys. And I know some of you have issues using that tool. Alright, so now we have our leaf. With our stems and our veins. And what we want to do now is shrink the leaf because we don't want the leaf to stay this big. We want it a little smaller. So we're going to select it all, hold shift, and drag in the corner. And what we're trying to do is make it look like these here. So we're going to scroll down and over. And so now what I'm going to do is it says hold the shift key while rotating so that we do this at a 45-degree angle. And as you rotate it, you'll see it tell us when we hit a 45-degree angle. So we're going to go back down a little bit. Alright, so we're going to go with 45.06 at this point because that's the only one I'm getting at the moment. I'm going to move it here. And then it tells me to do copy and paste the leaf and make it smaller. Rotate it to the left again. So I'm going to copy and paste this leaf here. Copy, paste. And you see it's already rotated. But we need to make it smaller yet again. So hold shift, make it smaller. And I actually need to move these all closer together in order for them to work properly. So I'm going to just do this, and that should select it all. And I'm going to move this one up a little bit closer to that leaf. There we go. And then I'm going to come down and select this whole leaf. And I'm going to move this one up as well. But we still need to rotate this one a little bit more. So to do that, we'll hold Option so we can see the path and do it at a 45 degrees, which might be a little bit too much, so we're not going to do 40, we're going to do it a little less. And I'm going to move the leaf over so that it's right next to it. Alright, everybody got that? So far this is what you should have here. And we still want to move these up some because they're still a little far. So we move them up. And then we're going to do another one by repeating, this one right here. And we really don't want this leaf in it, so we're going to shift and get that out so that we just have this selected. And then we're going to, it said copy paste, but I'm just going to drag it down. And then I am going to rotate it once again. I'm going to move it down a little and rotate it. And then once I rotate it, it'll look like this. Of course, I need to move this a little bit closer to the stem or the stalk, and there you have it. So there's half your leaf. So as we scroll down, we're going to select the 3 leaves from the left side. Right-click the mouse, select Transform Reflect, bring up the Reflect dialog where you should enter Axis Vertical 90 degrees and press Copy. Move the 3 leaves to the right and group the chestnut leaves by right-click and group. So what it's saying to do is we are going to, we are going to draw a marquee around these to select them. Right-click, and it says to go to Transform, Reflect. When this dialog box comes up, I want you to select Vertical. The angle should stay at 90 degrees, and we are going to say Copy, and then we are going to take these, and we're going to hold Shift and move them. I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you guys. So now we want to take them all over. And if you hold Shift, it'll keep them in the right position. And there you have your leaves. These could go down just a little bit more. So we're going to shift down just a little bit more and shift them over. And then there goes the leaf. So then what I want to do, and I'm going to shrink this stalk because my stalk is a little bit long. So it told us to make a long, narrow stalk, which is what I did, but it clearly wanted it to be a little bit smaller than what I did. And so here are my leaves. And they should be right in line with each other. So let's select these again and shift them up just a little bit. And there we have it. So now what we want to do is select everything that's here. Right click, click group. And now this will move, anytime I select it, will move all together as one because we've grouped it together. All right, everybody should at least have that done. If you don't understand something, please rewind what I did and redo it. Now, I'm going to zoom out of here